midget size. Perfect. So the last time that I was on this stage, I was about to get married, and now I'm about to have a kid. All I can say is that my spunk is spunky. Probably doesn't hurt that I drank my wife's fertility medication though. That stuff is potent, doesn't matter who drinks it. I just looking for a drink of water, ended up with 18 years of financial instability. It all started when she took out her IUD. I don't know if you guys know what an IUD is, but it's a little tooth flosser that blocks the baby gravy. You shouldn't be able to actually floss your teeth with it though. Either it's not put in right or you're just going way too far in. With an IUD, you don't need to worry about your pull-out game anymore though. It's just blow and go. It's like a Glade air freshener. You just plug it in and forget about it. You got freshness for 3 years. It's a great investment if you're not ready for a crotch goblin. But I'm excited to have a kid. People keep asking me if I want a boy or a girl. Man, those are boring choices. Give me like some with some scales or a tail or at least some fangs. But no, the damn sonograms have to show a normal baby, aka boring as hell baby. If it at least had, like a cleft lip, it could drink water without opening its mouth. Some sort of superpower. I don't want no boring baby. I have to have a little 4-limb normie, just like everyone else. A friend of mine is actually throwing us a gender reveal party. But we want to be PC about it, called a sex reveal party. But this just sounds so wrong. Like if you get a bunch of flashers and they're having a swingers party, like you can put your keys in the fishbowl and put your coat right here. We're going to do it with a piñata though. That's how we're going to do it. My suggestion was a baby piñata. We're going to find out what the baby is. We just put it up there and we'll take swings at it, make the neighbors scream. Pink blood for a girl, blue blood for a boy. Just everyone get covered, have a good old time. Or we could go the anatomical route where we'll fill it with clamshells if it's a girl, or little night crawlers if it's a boy. And then, all the kids can play at it, eat oysters afterwards, whatever. Sorry, I didn't feel like memorizing this shit today. We could do the whole hipster thing too though, and let the baby choose its own gender, have ourselves a baby. But I always wonder how the baby made that choice. Is it like Groundhog's Day? Like if it's a boy, does it come out and it see its own shadow? And it's a girl if it gets paid the same job as a man but less? Or whatever that joke was. You know what mechanics like on their salads? Wrench dressing. You know what a carpenter's favorite drink is? A screwdriver. A mechanic has to spell on me once though. He used a hex wrench. I don't let nails drive my car anymore. They're always hammered. So I've changed my appearance since I was last up here. I grew a mustache for getting married, and I grew glasses for being a dad. I thought the stash would make me feel like a pervert, but nope, I just act like one. The best part is I don't have to trim my mustache or my nose hair anymore. It just all grows together. I'm more proud of when I was a teenager I had that crust stash, but now it's only a crust stash when I forget to blow my nose. No, dad glasses are important though. People definitely treat me better. Like when I have them off, they go across the street. But when I put them on, they want me to co-sign their loans for them. At least my dad glasses are classy. My dad's dad glasses were the old 90s thick glasses rims. He called them disattraction glasses. Or facial birth control. Probably the reason why I'm an only child. Gotcha, Dad. I wonder if there's any other life events that call for a change in appearance. Like when you buy a motorcycle, do you just get long hair and a bandana? Like here's your keys, here's your leather jacket. Or do divorcees just automatically develop alcoholism? Take off the ring, pick up a bud. Important questions. I know this guy who likes to have sex at the ocean, but he's got crabs now. It's definitely a straight guy though, always talking about the beaches. He's not there all the time though, you know, he comes in waves. Yeah, thank you. There you go. No, the weirdo does his drugs there too. Always ends up with sand in his crack. Happens. Dude is always in the water. There's something fishy about that guy. I probably should have waited a little longer to have a kid so we could savor being married. We skipped over all the fun arguments. Like, what do you want to eat tonight? I don't know. What do you want to eat tonight? And then we just eat cereal. And it's actually a pretty good choice. Now she has a pregnancy anger though. Like, I don't have any time. If she tells me that she's hungry, then the clock is already ticking. If you're not a mind reader, you're fucked. I should have known that she was hungry 30 minutes ago, but now I gotta hurry up and get the cereal cooking. So far our marriage is great, but sometimes it's shitty. I mean, like, literally shitty. I came home from work one day, and my wife is trying to poop. I want to leave you on that for a second.
What's funny is I don't have anything written up. I'm just now working.
This is what married life is.
I'm just that fucking great. Yeah, sir, my life is
We
that
bitch about work and talk about our bowel movements and death. Like, just today, she's lots of poop talk. That's what we do. So when I get home, apparently she's been on the can for half an hour, and she's getting mad because she just can't go. And I don't get it because this is the biggest case of shit or get off the pot I have ever heard. Just go. And I'm mad because I have to go take my post-work pee outside. Like, I don't mind peeing outside. It brings me closer to my dogs. But, like, not at 4:30.
Can you guys shut the fuck up?
Yeah. But I don't mind, like, I don't want to pee at 4:30 p.m. in broad daylight because my neighbor Gustavo is going to come over with his kid and be like, hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, you know, just watering my plants. Oh, so she starts talking about going to the hospital. And I'll be damned if I'm going to pay $100 for someone to help my wife shit. Let alone that that's where I work. And all my coworkers will look on the ER board and say, oh, Monk's wife can't take a shit. Like, what kind of medical professional would be if I couldn't help my own wife poop? So I get into the full medical mode. I'm searching for the rubber gloves. I'm getting the Docolox. I'm getting the Miralax. I'm getting the what if the fuck lax, because we're going to get this shit out. So I get myself into my best umpire position, get myself in the tub, I've got my shit covered. You bet. And, you know, I even wiped my wife's ass. I'll tell you right now, I sure did. I mean, I'm practicing for having a baby. You just gotta start with the big picture, and then it'll be easier when you get to the little one. After 4.5 hours, finally this monster exits my wife's body. And, like, I get why she was mad now. Like, she said at one point it jumped back up. So it's like, when I look in the toilet, because you have to look. How can you not? I've wasted my entire evening with this shit that you have to see. Okay, it looked like a brown canned good. Like she had eaten an entire can of corn without opening it. Like, oh man, I know. I felt bad just looking at it. It's like, geez, it's like you've already given birth. And then right after it came out, she went to sleep. She was literally pooped. That has to be where it came from. Someone just take a shit and then automatically fell asleep. And then Like, this thing was so bad that not literally did it clog my wife up, it clogged up my house. I had to deal with it a whole day and a half. It's like it never ended. The shitty evening that never stopped. Change the subject. So I was going to run for president, but the only person that wanted to be my vice president was a lesbian. You know what they say, don't run with scissors. I got some head from a Notre Dame girl once. She gave that golden dome. Had me like, touchdown Jesus. Yay, local humor. I saw this dude stopped on the steps once and he wouldn't stop looking at me. I said, what's up, bud? You got a staring problem? Hey, you hear about the girl who lost half of her ass in a bear attack? Her friends got away, but she was left behind. Her husband tried to go back and save her, but he lost his left arm and leg. He's all right now. Okay, my wedding was a fun time. We had a candy bar for the kids and an open bar for the big kids. I want to tell you about my friend Phil. He started dancing with my coworker Jane. Phil is a goofy dude. He looks like Scooby-Doo, but higher. No, wait. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Either way, they're both pretty fucking high. And then my friend Jane, she's my coworker, she goes and grabs his hand and takes him onto the dance floor. Jane is like classically beautiful. She's a blonde. She's a former gymnast. And she's a pharmacist. She's practically a Bond girl. You are all out of refills, Mr. Bond. So they start talking, and they never met before. She asks him a few questions like, oh, my name is Jane, what is your name? And his goofy ass hears an accent and thinks, okay, maybe she's just nervous. She's playing a game, so I'll do an accent too. He throws on his best Count Chocula. Oh, hi, I am a Phil, blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. And then it all stops. Her face changes. It's like, are you making fun of my accent? You have an accent? Blah, blah, blah. And so they at least finished the dance after that. They stopped talking because I would too. And then she was gone. And I didn't really know about this until after I came back from my honeymoon, so I went up to my friend Jane. I was like, hey, I saw you dance with my buddy Phil. I can get you his number if you like. She said, oh, Phil, no. But I want to thank him for making our special night that much more special. So I like tattoos, but I'm an adult now. So I have to choose if I want to pay the mortgage or get another tattoo. So you guys can come to my cardboard box and check out my new ink later. Tats bring all sorts of people together. You got your cops, your gangsters, your junkies, your weird little hipster dudes. You just got to be careful when your tattoo artist is a junkie, he starts coming at you with the wrong kind of needle. You know, if he starts to tie you up before he starts to get the junk done, then you might want to go someplace else. That's why I've gotten most of my tattoos outside of the parlor. I like to keep it local, you know. I got this one inside a dining room, kitchen, dorm room, basement. I think I'll get the next one in a bathroom just to get all of it, you know, cover all my bases. I mean, I've already had one infection, what's another? That's, you know, it's like STIs, you gotta catch them all. So I know this guy who is real slow. He's also short. He's a little tardy. I think of a lot of the jokes while looking out the window. They're so silly. But whenever I look in the mirror, I always see the same joke. I get the most inspiration though when I'm masturbating in front of the mirror. It just comes to me. You ever spray keyboard duster straight into your nose? That shit'll blow your mind, man. You know why there's always 2 EMTs in an ambulance? Because they're a pair of medics. Oh, that went too highbrow. I'm sorry. Okay. You know why there are always 2 EMTs in an ambulance? Because they're a paramedics. Yeah, it's a 2-time joke. All right, so you guys know what squirting is? I'm going to guess some of you might. It has nothing to do with grapefruit soda. I'll make that clear. It's when during coitus, the woman starts going off like a busted fire hydrant. There's a big difference between squirting and girl cum, or OJ as I like to call it, orgasm juice. Great way to start your day with a cup of OJ. But the thing about squirters is that anything more than a small puddle is piss. That's pee-pee, guys. You're fucking right there in a trough of urine. But you know, sometimes it's hot. I learned that from a scientific article just a few days before I met my first squirter. My first thought, oh God, this is disgusting. My second thought, I'm getting laid. We definitely ruined that floor. Like the linoleum started to peel. It's like, good thing we're in a bathroom. At least you could kind of flush it or sweep it down the drain. I don't know. Squeegee that up? She was drinking beer. That was definitely beer squirts. Just I mean, if you put food coloring in there, you could probably paint the walls. Now let's talk about Valentine's Day 2019. I'm excited because I heard like this is one of the 4 days that married people are allowed to have sex. There's Valentine's, Christmas, birthdays, your kid's birthday if you're a freak like that. And so after a delicious steak dinner, we start doing the maritals. We're both putting in our best effort, you know, high fives, yeah. And then I start to feel some warmth, about 98.6 degrees of warmth if I were to guess. There you go. And so we do great. I was like, okay, I'll definitely have to do some laundry tonight, no big deal. Then we start to have some cute pillow talk. You know, my wife's already pregnant, so we're like, I talked to the baby. It's like, sorry for disturbing your sleep, little one. Daddy had to get it in. And then we get cleaned up and pee because UTIs are a serious fucking business. And then I look at the bed to see what kind of mess we made that night. There's no pee. That's what's oddly enough. There's no pee, just the normal puddle, the acceptable OJ puddle. But instead of pee, there was a turd. There was a singular turd nestled in the blanket. My first thought was, did we just fucking dog shit? And then like, I was hoping, no, maybe it's a candy bar, or maybe it fell out of my pocket or something, a little Three Musketeers mini. But no, that was definitely a human turd. Definitely, I've seen enough of my wife's shit at this point. So we start laughing our asses off. I mean, like, what can you do? It's gross, yeah, but also fucking hilarious. So grab some toilet paper, flush the turd, threw the blanket in the garage, and we just laughed ourselves to sleep. Now, some of you might be disgusted right now, but tell me, have any of you ever literally fucked the shit out of your wife? There we go, I'm the fucking champion. So this will probably be my last show. I have to save some of my dad jokes for when I'm a dad, but I'll give you just a few more. I invented this piece of elastic that after you take a diarrhea, it just tightens right back up. I call it the taco belt. And what makes a lot of noise and has a huge case of the clap? You guys, for our next performers, let's give it up.
All right, guys, welcome Alex Seastrom to the stage.